You've been stretching wrong your entire life. All those hours sitting in splits, bouncing in stretches, holding positions until it hurts, they've barely moved the needle. Fighters who can throw head kicks with ease aren't more dedicated than you. They just understand something about flexibility that most coaches never teach. Here's what's actually happening when you stretch. Your range of motion isn't limited by the length of your muscles. It's limited by your nervous system. Your muscles are weaker in stretch positions, so your brain treats those ranges as dangerous territory. It restricts your movement to prevent injury. That's why you can feel loose after a long stretching session, then wake up the next morning just as tight as before. Your nervous system reset everything overnight because it still doesn't trust those positions. Traditional stretching only temporarily lengthens tissues. You're essentially tricking your body into a range it can't control. Once your nervous system senses that weakness in the stretch position, it pulls you right back to where you started. This is why some fighters stretch for years and never get their side kicks above waist height. The solution is to build strength in the stretch position. When a muscle becomes stronger at its end range, your nervous system recognizes that position as safe and allows more movement. You're not fighting your body anymore. You're convincing it that deeper ranges are under control. This is permanent flexibility because it's backed by actual capability. Here's exactly how to apply this. The method is called PNF stretching. You contract your muscles while they're in a stretch position to make them stronger in that range. It sounds counterintuitive, but that tension is what signals safety to your nervous system. First, get into a moderate stretch for the muscle you're targeting. Don't go to your absolute limit. Find a position where you feel a clear stretch but can still breathe normally. For your hamstrings, this might be a standing forward fold with your hands grabbing your legs or ankles. Once you're in position, contract the stretch muscle against the stretch. If you're folding forward, try to pull your torso back up while your hands hold you in place. Push at about 50 to 70% effort, hard enough to feel real tension in the muscle, but not so hard you're straining. Hold that contraction for 5 to 6 seconds while breathing steadily. Now relax completely and sink slightly deeper into the stretch. Your nervous system just registered strength in that range, so it temporarily allows more movement. This is your window. Hold the new position for a few seconds, then repeat the contraction from this deeper starting point. For a side split progression, sit with your legs spread wide, lean your torso forward, and press your legs into the floor as if trying to squeeze them together. Hold, release, sink deeper. For hip flexors, get into a deep lunge, then drive your back knee down into the ground while keeping your hips square. That contraction through the stretched hip flexor is what builds the strength you need for high chambers and fast kicks. Here's what most people miss. The contraction has to happen in the stretched position, not before it. And don't rush through reps chasing a deeper stretch. The quality of each contraction matters more than how far you go. If you're bouncing or forcing positions, you're triggering the exact protective response you're trying to override. Apply this method to whatever muscles limit your kicking. Hamstrings, hip flexors, adductors, pick your problem areas. Around 10 reps of 5 to 6 second contractions per muscle group is enough for one session. You can do this at the end of your martial arts training, after strength work, or in dedicated flexibility sessions 2 to 3 times per week. Over time, your body will allow deeper ranges. When a position starts feeling easy, move to a more challenging variation. Your splits get lower, your kicks get higher, and the progress actually sticks. Keep drilling your techniques, especially kicks and movements that use your new range. That's how you turn flexibility into functional ability when you're actually fighting. Mobility you don't use in training won't show up in sparring. For most fighters, consistent work with this method produces noticeable results within a few months. The best part, once you build strength-backed flexibility, it's hard to lose. Even if life gets in the way and you take time off, you'll regain it faster than you built it the first time.